This man. Right, okay. We are not going to be talking about the fact that I forgot to add my microphone. Because I forgot my charger at one of my friend's places, and so I currently have to survive with a microphone that is using my USB-C cable that I use for my as my phone charger. I have to also use that as my, well, you know, mic cable. Anyway, I'm doing some redstone stuff. This over here was just a little thingy I did yesterday because I just had to refresh my memory on how automatic crafters worked, and yeah, this will then give you a full stack every time. This out here basically just tells you that this one's full. Now this hopper's not full anymore, and you don't have a full system, so you can just turn this off and the cycle starts up again. This will then gradually get more full, obviously, once this has been filled up again, but you know. But yeah, that's what I did there. Over here, I want to do something I haven't done before ever, and that's the thing with when I do things like this. Oh yeah, and I also got the Distant Horizons thing I talked about yesterday. So yeah, have that now. But I have never done an auto brewer. What the fuck is going on here? Is you? No. Wait, which one's reload chunks? That's shaders. Right, 2 seconds. That's actually kind of annoying. Right, what the fuck is happening? Right, I reload. You reload chunks. Don't tell me that Distant Horizons is breaking everything in this world. That would actually piss me off. Yeah, that I'm not sure has ever worked. If these ones down here, or did they break? I forgot. Right, so you think this one's the one that's broken? Yeah, this one's the one that's broken. This broke in an unintentional update. I forgot that I was playing in a new version, and so I just loaded in this world and it broke something in that one over there. Something about timings and shit. Anyway, this is still there. Good. Yeah, well, what I want to do is, so essentially over here I was just kind of experimenting with some stuff, and the thing is, I know this works. I've used this many times before. However, I just want to reassure myself that it actually works and that I'm not misremembering. So this, let's say you want 5 shulker boxes of something, you input 5 items, 1 for each shulker box. Then as one shulker box gets filled up, you unlock this hopper, allowing 1 item to travel through. Then once this is empty, then you reset the entire system and deselect everything. Up here you input the ingredients and basically design the potion you want to make. So what I need to do is I need to make a system that is 100% tileable, or one block tileable. So yeah, that's kind of the thing. I am thinking of unlocking hoppers, but that does mean I have to figure out the exact timings needed. Wait, if we just, where the fuck is the glass bottle? Oh yeah, that's it's 9, meaning we can use 9 brewing stands per brew, meaning this up here needs to fire 9 times, and honestly I might have an idea. So this one, that'll be easy enough to implement. This will need to be torn out and put back in. This is essentially just what we're going to be using to pack the shulker boxes. I do need to change that out for a trapdoor though. Wait. There we go. Now I can open it and check on it. Good. And this one down here, it is missing a few, meaning this entire thing isn't working. But you know what, we'll get there. Oh yeah, and the reason they can stack is because I think it's carpet mod that allows that. So we have a shulker box packer, we have basically a very simple counter, and now we need to make a tileable selection system. And we are using the copper bulbs as our input because they are 100% tileable. Like, and whoops. An annoying part of this is the fact that I have to have tile drops on in order for this to work because of the shulker boxes. But I fucking hate tile drops. So if we wait. If we invert this signal, like that, so that when it selects, this is only able to fire 9 items. That's fucking stupid. Because what we need to do is, first off, have a storage system for the for all the ingredients. Then we need a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. First off, we need a storage system for the ingredients. Then we need to make sure that each and every one of these has bottles. Now the bottles, they're easy. The bottles are easy enough. We can just use a central system for those because they don't get pulled. They do get pulled out. Shit. I was kind of... Wait, if we just lock this hopper... and then say 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, but the bottom ones are still unlocked. So it's these ones down here that we need to lock. Right, well. It's only 9 blocks long, so we can literally just do this. And then run a single signal. And keep in mind, this is just a prototype. But by running this signal, we are able to use the central storage system idea, I think. Because if we there we go. So now that you're full, we wanted to only return 3 bottles down here. Well, this is just unnecessary. And so it's 1, 2, 3. And one got locked in there. Now I'm curious as to yeah, mundane. Let's see. It's only the first one that gets replaced. Right, we'll tackle that later. I don't want to think about that right now. Anyway, so we have this. We were able to pick an ingredient. Let's say... Now we need to make sure that it fires a certain amount of times. If we go off of a, let's say 1. So this 1 pulse because if we can make this 1 pulse into something 2 seconds, how much there you are. And 1, 2, 3, 5. Wooden button is 8. Oh, that's actually a bit annoying. What is... No, because we can't go much over that. Meaning we're only able to get 8 total. Unless we... How would we create one more pulse? Because we only want a singular pulse more. And this is consistent? Yeah, it is. This would mean... Oh, just one more pulse. How do we do that? Because we need to do something that will consistently make 9 pulses. With us just pressing one thing. The only thing I can think of is if I just... No, you go there. 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 Right, and then once we need the clock to stop, then there we go. Now we that's not nearly enough pulses, I already know that. However, that would be a way to create a clock. And so if we can just make this exactly 9 blocks consistently. But hey, that would mean this being on constantly. No, not if we move it out by 1. I'm assuming, which one is it that's locked? None of them. You're locked. Good. How many blocks is this? That's 6. We guess 12. 4. But if I can get down to 1, then I might have an idea. 8? How the fuck? Why did we get more? That's 6 again. Right, so six. 4. 8. 6. 6, 4, 8, 6. 4, 4. This makes no sense to me. I mean, if we're able to, I doubt we'll be able to utilize an etho hopper clock. Maybe a modified version? Well, because if we're able to utilize this, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, this is not how it's supposed to look. I'm sorry. We're supposed to say that's how we do it. Why do you not push? Do you need a block update? Have I seriously forgotten how to do an etho hopper clock? I have. Huh. Where was that? Oh. Why? Do they both need to be? I swear one of them used to have to be an old piston. There we go. And now if we just, let's say we lock it. Then, because I don't care how large the module itself is, as long as it's able to operate independently, it's good enough for me. So if, just bring back up my stream. So if we are able to this is tricky because I am fully committed to doing this without looking up any information about automatic brewers, because I want to figure this shit out. Because if I can figure it out without looking up the automatic ones, then it will just feel so much better. For example, this was what I came up with as an auto smelter. It's shit. I think it's there are some things that get stuck some places. This is a Tango Tech. Yeah, again, world corruption. It used to say shit on the signs. Anyway, this is the one that Tango used in Season 7 of Hermitcraft. Absolutely amazing smelter, by the way. However, this one, this monstrosity, this was my first go at a super smelter. Don't ask me what the fuck I was doing. I have no idea. Over here we have a beacon selector that surprisingly still works. I used to, well, basically because a piston is a full block when closed and a transparent block when open, you can make a beacon beam pass through, and then by taking the output from an observer, you can select basically all of the same types of beacons throughout your entire base. Then of course we also have a master key which opens all beacons, and this is, even if you have one open already, then it just opens the rest and you can still have that one selected once you close again. This is actually quite simple because then we just open those, and then if I can, yeah, because these are already extended, it sends a signal through this one. However, if they are already extended, then there will be no reaction because they're already powered, and powering a power source makes it still be powered. So, you know, so it's actually incredibly simple and uses very little actual redstone and redstone knowledge to work. The classic gate design, I think they used to... Is it just paper? It is. And then, yeah. What else do we have? What else do we have? We have an old mob spawner. I think this is, yeah, this is a, no, this is an iron farm. I'm sorry. This was for my, why are the zombies missing? But no, this was for the survival world, which I haven't uploaded to in 6 fucking months. But yeah, that's that. Beacon ranges. This is the mob spawner. Very old design. Doubt that it still works. An overcomplicated sugarcane farm. Don't know why I did this, honestly. One of my favorite things in this entire world is a carpet bomber, which and this is then the original design. It is a tunnel bore that is used, well, to create tunnels. Very simple, very effective, and then this is the motor. And essentially all it does is, first it pulls forward, then it detects it's been moved, pulls this, which then sends a pulse into another thing, and then it's literally just pushes all the way down with chests. And right over here, because this is honey, you stay put and you can literally just sit here and auto click. So yeah, that's the general idea of this. not that it has any practical use. There are automatic bombers and stuff like that, but you know. Then we have an abandoned design for a for copper farm, and then I think, yeah, this was the secondary design I had, where I literally just got tired and didn't want to do it anymore. I think the reason I created that one over there was because I didn't want to sit and fiddle with all the different water streams going in different directions, and yeah, it was something. This one you've all seen before. The Copper Ager, haven't worked on it since then. Just doesn't make sense. Like, it's never been practical, so it makes no sense for me to actually work on it anymore. And now I've started another project that doesn't make sense and isn't practical. But yeah, if we are able to take, let me guess, if we turn right, so first off, we need this to have feedback, because we only want it to be open for 9, and if we could have a 9 item pulse, easily I would have just done that. And the whole reason why we even need a 9 pulse, 2 seconds, this probably won't work, however I have to try it. So we need what? Yeah, 27. Nine, 6, 4. We still end up with 1 straggler. Obviously, meaning if I can, instead of getting it into 9 pulses, I can try getting it into 3 pulses, which this one was what, 6? Wait, what? 8. 4. 6. I mean, I might be able to work with 6. Because we know what a counter looks like, and if we, let's say we have a very simple counter here. Whoops. Let's say we have 9 items in here. So we have 9 items. Whoops, forgot that wouldn't work. Anyway, let's go over to the counter we have here. So we have what? We have 9 items. Let's say now we have... No, that wouldn't work because I want it to be fast. this is why I am not a fan of redstone. Like, I know how to do like the basic shit. Whoops. What did it remove? Seriously? That's it? Right. Anyway. I mean, I could... The easy way to make this would be very much in line as to over here, where you have one module that does one specific thing, that makes one specific potion. Because then that would be... I'm not saying it wouldn't be tricky to set up the timings and stuff. However, then you would only need this. And have everything in a specific... in a specific... let's say we have... Yeah, well, let's say we are making a potion of invis. Then we would have the dudes with dude, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, strength, duration, yeah, and then with the 4 specialties. So we would have 1 ingredient, 2 ingredient. So we would have the first ingredient, the second ingredient, and the third ingredient, and we would essentially unlock... Wait, no. We would unlock these hoppers for 1 tick, so that 1 item could get passed through, and then they are already lined up in the correctly. Then if we, let's say we wanted to make it last longer, then we would also unlock this one for 1 tick. And then we just say, okay, this one down here, it's not full. So once this one is empty again, let's say we have locked you and put... Where's the bottles? There. There we go. And then once this is empty, it gets... once it's done brewing, which we can do with timings, and checking if this one has anything in it. And so if, let's say we, once again, this one's, whoops, this one's full, and then this one becomes empty because there's nothing inside. We're done brewing, there's no more ingredients. Then this sends a signal that this needs to be emptied. Then this is now empty. However, the hopper underneath, that's full. The system is full. We don't need to keep repeating the cycle. And then with this will then stop the clock that's controlling the entire thing. So that is what I would do for an automatic brewer like this, where you just unlock for a moment, everything gets put in the correct orientation, it gets brewed. Once the system is full, it sends an update. Once this is empty, it just refills everything. unless this one is full and it kind of breaks the circuit, you know? Which would actually be quite easy to do if I'm not mistaken. It would just be a double positive. So let's say we wait, normally what I would do is something like I already know what I would do. So I would have this. And then like so. Because nope, we actually want this one to be extended once this one's full, meaning a repeater there, whoops, repeater there with you. There we go. Because then this one, once it gets a signal, whoops, let's say, let's just take the bolts again. There we go. Now this one can't send its signal through. However, when we take the bottle out, this one, wait, this one's blank. 2 seconds. I keep forgetting about the fact that the signal from these is weak, as in very weak. So if we just yellow wall, brown wall, because we don't really need that. So we have you, we have you, we have you. So now I need repeater you. So we have you, that goes into you, that goes into you. You go there. You. No. There we go. Now I can play along. There we go. That makes sense. Because this one's full, sends the signal through. But if the system is also full, then it doesn't need to send a signal through. And so we can just cut it off here. So empty system is online, full system is offline. This is clunky redstone. It serves the purpose of explaining what I would do. This, on the other hand, is really fucking annoying because it does not want to do what I wanted to do. I wanted to wait. Honestly, let's abandon this and just focus on the other thing, because that honestly seems like a lot more fun. Because this one over here, I actually have an idea about how to execute. So if I can make one, then I can just stack it, plus it's not something that I'll... So yeah, let's continue on this one. I still want to try and make it as small as possible though. So that right there's the general idea. Now let's see if it actually fucking works. Because that's a very high probability that it doesn't. Right, so we need this one to be locked. Like the like this one that's, wait, because we also have to think about blaze stuff. If we put it in through the top, where does it go? It goes there, right? That's not good. We want it to, there we go. There we go. Then we have the bottles and the blaze stuff, right? Yeah, the blaze stuff goes in there, and the bottles go in through here. Meaning, we want this one to always be unlocked, which means we can literally move it to this position over here. That's easier to deal with. And then this over here can be the bottles. Why are you... Oh, right. Serves the purpose. Right. So... we need you locked until you get the go ahead from this one, that this one's empty. So, well, it's easier to develop it if we are a little bit away. Oops. Right, everything should be fine. And stack you across. Right. There we go. There we go. Anything else that's floating that shouldn't be? No, good. Right. So let's see. We need... well, this system up here should be rather simple. So let's worry about that first, because we need to unlock these hoppers here. Right, if we, yeah, then you don't pull anything out because you're locked. Good. So we need these to only unlock for a split second, which we already know how to do because we literally did it down there. And so we're going to control it from the back end, because honestly that just makes it a lot fucking easier. I do need to change the color coding though, because otherwise this is going to get very confusing. There we go. So block, and then right, so we have thing is, these ones aren't supposed to be unlocked, so let's just, there's only 3 ingredients. Let's take these first. Then we can take the other ones afterwards. Because my main gripe with these are the fact that they have to be purposely selected. Which honestly we can, you know what, let's do it all in one go. That it actually shouldn't be all that difficult. But first off, let's just, so we have a dark gray and black. There we go. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. This is just so that I can see if it's in the correct, if it's lined up correctly down here, which I actually doubt it will be, because there's a difference between pull and push. So let's hope. Wait, which one is it? No. No. What is it that I keep pressing? Honestly, 2 seconds. What is it that I keep pressing? Controls, keybinds. It's down an axiom. Replay, iris, freecam. Inventory, gameplay, miscellaneous movement. Replace mode R. Can't I? Why is that the only thing that has a keybind? Why? I hate that. Wait, yeah, because my shaders reload is also on R. That's fucking stupid. Anyway. So my idea is we keep this, because this was honestly, this is I think the only way to do it. So we keep this, we say, okay, these 3 are main ingredients, so they just get one of these. But these over here, they're special ingredients, so they get one of these, where, you know, for them to be able to be selected. Wait. Because I just want to run a simple line of, I just want to be able to do this, honestly. So let's, or if we just very quickly say you to you, move you out by 1, because then we're able to keep the lines separate. And if we're able to keep them separate, then this should be much less of a problem. Yeah. Because now what I can do is 1, 2, 3. So this is very clunky already. I do recognize that. Don't worry, I do see the irony in me saying that I wanted to keep this as small as possible when I'm literally just expanding its footprint by 1,000,000%. Anyway. But I can make it a little bit smaller though. This is also going to be a target block heavy build. Anyway. Right, so sand, you, and you. Right. Are you also 2 ticks? Yeah, you're 2 ticks, good. Right, so the reason I wanted to keep this, now we're gonna take some wool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I am just going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right. And first off, we're going to use very just the first ones, because if they're not correct, then there's no point in us trying with separate ones. Why? I just want the singular one. How do I do that again? I just want the individual one to go down, which means I have to do this, if I'm not mistaken. Right, so that's how we do that, I guess. So, in here right now, there is nothing. If I run a single pulse, then we have it in the correct order. That's good. 1, 2, 3. Then if we pick pink, correct order, pink. If we pick magenta, correct order plus magenta. And the reason I'm keeping on or continuing to test all of these through and through is just to make sure. Correct order, purple, and lastly, correct order of, correct order and blue. And you see, that's how you do it. Now what I need to do is figure out the bottle system, and afterwards then we can spend a little time trying to compact this. This is not the greatest system yet, but as you can see, we can already decide which one of these effects, and let's say we want it to be a lingering potion, then we just make sure that the gunpowder comes before the dragon's breath, because then if we do like this, then it's going to be purple blue, gunpowder dragon's breath, gunpowder dragon's breath, and that's how we can then do it. So it is before actually this one, we just need this one to be empty. Meaning this could get complicated, because this one down here is not supposed to loop before. Right. This is gonna get very complicated down in this section, I can already tell. So, let's not focus on that right now. Which is actually kind of a bummer, because it is kind of what we have to focus on. Right, let's rip out all of this then. So, we need to read 3 different things. First, is this one full? Then, is this one full, which we can do on the... this one we can read behind, so there's no reason to overcomplicate things. Let's make you blue. Like, that's what we can do. It does not need to be complicated. This one up here is honestly a little more tricky, because so if this one's empty, then we can't, whoops, let's just, if this one's empty, then it obviously needs to fill up and send a pulse back here. If this, oh, because now I am kind of in a weird boat of things I have to consider, because there is a very real chance of none of what I'm trying to do working, and that would suck a lot. But if what I do does work, then I'm going to become very insufferable because it works. So right now I need to figure out what I can do to best up my chances of this working. Right. What time is it? Right. I need... If this one's full, then it's not done yet. This one is the final say. This one being full. 2 seconds. Let's try to set this up in a way that you can work with. And I'm not saying that this is going to be easy to work with. Oh, I'm just saying this is going to be set up in a way that can be worked with. Right. So. There we go. We need to say what exactly. So if this one gets full, then it's being split down here. Let's just separate these colors, because otherwise I am not going to survive this. And we're gonna keep them this in the grayscale, because they are going to feed into the same thing. We just kind of need to make sure exactly what to do with them. Right, so we've split this one into 3 lines that can be worked with. Right. If I just add a light, because I want to make sure that only the one I want to turns on when I want it to. Right, so this one down here, let's say this one is finished cooking, we remove them, everything's good in the world. You count that as being full? Oh, that's a problem. It actually isn't. We can just send we can literally just send a because it doesn't really matter that. It's really a problem that when I'm trying to figure something out, I get very, very quiet, because that really doesn't work with the fact that I need to explain my process. Right, so what I'm doing here is trying to fit it under the existing blueprint. Repeater, there we go. So we have you going into there. Oh, sorry. What am I trying to do? I think I want you going there, you going there, you going like that, like that, like that. Because this will not be affected of what's above it. So if we just send a because then we can literally just yeah. If I just take these out. Wait, but I want it to be locked, not unlocked. How do I do that? Is it this one I'll power instead? Yeah, so I'll just power this one instead whenever I... So this is its default state. Then we unlock. Then, because we can't see if it's, but we don't need this one. But we can see if it has gone through here. Yeah, so let's just let this pass through. Right, so this is locked. We open up here. They stay where they're supposed to stay. Then oh, right. Let's just the reason I'm doing this is because comparators are better at reading. Right, so you're locked. you get filled up. What? Aren't you supposed to be able to read that better? For fuck's sake. Comparators, you... What? Am I stupid? I might just be stupid. Nope. We could... Well... Now the question is... Let's just lock all of these. Because I'm genuinely curious. Because if we like, yeah, so it's when they're locked and unlocked. Let's also just pull these back. Well, what am I able to do? Because I need to make sure that this one's completely empty. But I can't do that because of the blaze powder. Because that counts. Or does it? Or do I just need to compare it? That might just be the case. Then I need to figure out how... Then we just need to make sure that it's always stocked up so that it's consistent. Right, so... Right. Yeah, there we go. And then one that only has blaze powder. Yeah. Then what I do is can I see your redstone level? No. Let's just number 3, number 1, number 1, number 1, number 3. And that's purely right. So I won't be able to do that because these two blaze powder, it runs out very, very slowly. How about a because we can't exactly measure how full it is when there's blaze powder in it, but we need the blaze powder for it to start. 2 seconds. How long does blaze powder last. Meaning oh shit. Yeah, it's based on how many ingredients. So for example, in let's say in the mundane potion. Oh no, in the weakness. Oh wait, what? Where's it? Right, so here it would burn 1 blaze powder for adding the nether wart. Then it would burn another for adding this. Or this one over here. And then if, let's say, again, we're making an invis, it would burn another for adding this. Let's say we're trying to make a lingering invis. Then another for adding this, and another for adding this, meaning it would burn 5 total, but it lasts for 20. But however, if we were, let's say, only making strength, then we would only burn 2. Right? Yeah. Or fire res, then would only burn 2 as opposed to 5. I think we're on the correct, like we're somewhat on the right track. And because all we really need to do is find out when this one's empty, because once this one's empty we need to lock it. Then we need to fill it up with bottles, and this can just be a loop because it's not going to fill up any more than it can take. So however long we need to put in, if it's 4 or 5 items, it doesn't really matter because it's not going to put waste bottles. So and with this, or with the blaze powder, that can also just be a constant, because actually it would make sense for it to be, so we would have the restock on the same line, because then whenever, let's say we were dropping this now, oh no, we need to restock here. Yeah, and so this also got restocked, and the bottles here are full. Everything kind of works because there's only 3 bottles going out and only 1 blaze powder going out every once in a while. So this one's never gonna get empty if we just have like quite a big storage and then refill that central storage. However, that also means if it breaks, then it's very likely that it's here because we either didn't fill bottles or didn't fill blaze powder. But bottles can be fixed with a witch farm, or if we have a sand duper going into an auto smelter going into an auto crafter, which again literally have a design for one right there. That's toggleable and configurable and whatever else you want to call it. But over here, the annoying part is we are not able to just recognize. Wait. If we have, let's say, are you able to put bottles in? I don't think you're able to put bottles into it. Let's say, right, so we have 3 of these. How strong are you? Nope. So that's 9. Okay. Okay. Wait 2 seconds. I just accidentally closed down everything, which wasn't supposed to happen. Right. Comparator. There. Comparator, strength, there we go. Brewing stand, total slots, 5. Does it matter what potion is inside? Let's just grab a few different ones at random. So let's say night vision, swiftness, regen. Then we are going to take this, one of poison, and the lingering night vision. No, not lingering night vision, a lingering harming. Good, so this was what? That's 9. This is also 9. I don't think there's a difference. This is also 9. I mean, I have to check just in case, because I don't want there to be a situation where a specific potion has a different output than another one, and that fucking up the entire system. So here we have splash, also 9, and it doesn't matter what type of splash. Good. And finally, lingering, also 9. Yep. However, now I'm curious. Does it matter? What are you when you're full? Then you're 12. Good to know. So, what I'm just going to do real quick is we're going to have 3 things here. Right, so what I need is this. These are all going to be full. Right, because obviously all of them are going to be full. So here we have that. So we have glass. Wait, does it matter if they're glass or water? A water bottle. Yeah. Right, let's just have one there. That's 12. That's 3. That just fucked me over again. Right. And let's say we have you, and that's also a 12. Right. So my brilliant idea doesn't work because I've been using the wrong metric. I've been going out from water bottles instead of glass bottles instead of water bottles. Oh, fuck. I think we'll return to this one in the future stream because I can feel myself slowly slipping. My brain is stopping, doesn't want to function anymore. So yeah, next stream we will return to this if I have the heart to continue on a project that's stressing me out. So yeah, whoops. Thank you for dropping by, and goodbye.